My name is Jonathan Hobbs. I'm a C2, C3 vent-dependent quadriplegic. Currently, I'm the assistant director of a learning center. It's called the Allen Crest Learning Center, and it's in Leominster, Massachusetts. And I tutor first grade through 12th grade students. What I'm most passionate about is education and learning in general. It has definitely enriched my life. I also believe it's a great tool to break the cycle of poverty. A lot of my students are from lower income families. Some of them are the most brightest and talented kids I've ever saw. What I try to preach to them is higher education, that is college, will propel you, in life. So my background is everything was physical. I mean, everything that I did. I played t-ball and Little League, and I played basketball all the way up to junior high. I played soccer. I wrestled in high school, but my main thing was skateboarding. I started skateboarding at a very young age. I was 8 years old. By the time I was 16, I was skating parks all over New England, skating in contests. I rode for this shop. So it was pretty much my life. Anyways, I moved to San Diego. That dream of just skating all the best stuff and surfing. I've had a couple of friends break their necks surfing. I always thought if I was ever going to break my neck, surfing, definitely, because I used to surf this really shallow spot. It's called the Ocean Beach Jetty. I ended up breaking my neck diving off these cliffs that I had been diving off of for 7 years. I guess, the sandbar had built up a little bit. There was more surf during this time in the summer. So when my accident happened, I was lost. Let's put it that way. I was lost beyond belief. My life was shattered, man. I mean, it was shattered. Besides being paralyzed and not being able to do the things that I love, they told me that you're not moving. I'm not getting off this ventilator. I'm looking at all these tubes all around me. I got Ted hose on, white pantyhose. I don't know what's going to happen. So this guy walked in. I looked at him, and that's all it took. He's sitting upright in his chair, and he was dressed normal. Flip-flops on. He had no Ted hose on or anything. He had a job, and just the fact that he drove in there with his nurse, to come and see me, that was just one thing that really opened my eyes up that I could possibly have a life. He would come and visit me, and there were times I was very, very depressed. The one thing that the guy would say to me is, eventually, he goes, things are going to be all right. You're going to be fine, right? He goes, it's going to happen. And I'm thinking to myself, I go, dude, there's no way. After a couple of years and trying to figure things out, I decided to go back to school just to be in that environment, getting out and doing something productive. School was not in the cards. I didn't think I had a brain, right? My most amazing accomplishment was not only to receive my bachelor's degree, but actually to excel in school. So I actually took a liking so much to history that I took the hardest classes available to me. I didn't care. I took on that challenge like a class on historiography. What that is the history of history. It's the process of how historians find things, right? So this process is layered upon layered upon layered, and it's opinionated. You take a class on the French Revolution, it's not going to be about the French Revolution, facts, right, and dates and all that. It's the French Revolution as an idea. When you're reading an author, you have to look deep into what their meanings are, right? What point of view are they coming from? Are they coming from a Marxist point of view? Are they coming from a feminist point of view? That's one aspect you have to decipher. History is strange because it's not like the other sciences, right? If you take a math class, you could find a way to get the answer. There might be more than one way to find it, but you're going to come out with the same answer. History is more abstract is what I'm trying to get at. So for me to be able to excel in my classes was very shocking to me. So to get my foot in the door in the tutoring business, I volunteered at a learning center. And then when I graduated, the assistant director, eventually he decided it wasn't for him, and I took over his job. And this was the odd thing, is I didn't think I would be able to tutor kids. Kids are kind of out of control, I'm college students are a little easier. At least I could tell them, here's the work you need to be done, and if you don't do the work, then it's not my problem. Well, kids grow on you. I mean, they can get out of control, right? Yeah, I tell them, you see that camera up there? They're watching you. I love it. I love the kids that I work with. It's a riot. You could have the worst day in the world, and the kids will come in, they'll say something to you that just will crack you up, and, you know, whatever bad day you're having, it'll just erase it. What I want to do is I want to go back to school for my master's. What I'm doing right now is I'm doing an essay that I'm going to cut down into a podcast. Basically, the origins of modern skateboarding. 2,000 years deep into like surfing, following up to the roller skate, in an American perspective of how it ties into our culture, religion, economics, politics even. So it should be an interesting piece. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm out walking. I'm not doing the things that I love to do, right? I'm not skating. I'm not surfing, right? So in a way, in a sense, I was forced to find something else. I was forced to use my mind. And I went back to school and I found that mind. I might have went back to school, who knows? But I never would have taken it to the level that I've taken it now. And I am so content with it. I scare myself sometimes. I go so deep into history, looking at old philosophers and their ideas of what history is. This is a new life that I have, and it's something that I cherish. So it goes beyond walking. Walking is something in my past. I never thought that I would ever be content or be happy again. I would never be at that place I was before my accident. And it did. So my best advice is hang in there. Eventually it's going to happen. Falling in love with a girl, I never thought that would happen. It did. You know, I still go out, enjoy movies. I love food. I eat good food. I go to the beach. So I'm very content in life. And I've actually found something in life that I might not have ever found before if I didn't break my neck. I'd still be surfing now. I'd still be skating now. All my friends are still doing it, even though we're older now. We're in our 40s. They all still do it. That's what that surfboard's about up there on the wall. It's a longboard. So that was actually when the waves were small. I used to ride that one. They call them like a wall hanger because it's kind of a showpiece. It's one of the only boards that actually survive. So, yeah. So I like it.